What is going on, my Super Sandwiches? Rhymestyle here, and today we're going to be discussing something very different, taking it back a couple years to the episode of Bardock special. Not the first one, but the second one where we see Bardock go Super Saiyan and beat down Frieza's ancestor known as Lord Chilled. Now before I start, I'm going to say a big shout out to Dragon Ball Nation, actually, who basically sparked this conversation on Twitter yesterday. On his channel today, he should have a video going live, if not already live, talking about how strong he thinks Bardock is. Now, I wanted to cover Lord Chilled because he's doing Bardock, so feel free to check out both videos and let us know your thoughts in the comment section below of how strong you think Lord Chilled or Bardock is, and of course, subscribe to Dragon Ball Nation, all that good stuff. But he's covering Bardock. I'm going to cover Lord Chilled. Now, before I start, I want to say a couple things about the episode of Bardock, just so we're kind of clear here. Number one, remember, this is not a canon story to Toriyama's original story. The episode of Bardock special was a 3-chapter manga written by Naoto Oishi. I hope I said the name right. And of course, it turned into a anime as well. An OVA special. It was like 20 minutes long, which features actually the happenings of what was written in that manga story. Regardless of whether it's canon or not, it's still a pretty fun story. It gives us a little glimpse of what if, because we know what if is a very important thing in the Dragon Ball universe. And it's like, what if Bardock did survive, and he did get sent back in the past, and he did actually go Super Saiyan, and then start the whole fear of Super Saiyans that Frieza's family was so scared of, that basically led to the enslavement of Planet Vegeta and all that good stuff. What if that actually happened, and what if that was the whole cause of it? It's a cool way to basically look into the Dragon Ball universe and see it from a different angle, and that's why it's a fun story. That's all it was meant to be. But when it comes down to it, it's not really canon. Bardock did indeed die during that attack when Frieza destroyed that planet. But regardless, people still want to know how strong Bardock actually was, and as well as Lord Chilled. So that's why we're doing this discussion today. Well, at least I'm doing Chilled, and Dragon Ball Nation is doing Bardock. So again, check out his video description below. Now, the first thing I want to toss out there is, before I talk about Lord Chilled, is Bardock. Number one, there is two possible theories of how strong he actually was. One considers Zenkai Boost as a factor, and two doesn't. And the reason I say it doesn't is because since the story was written by somebody else, not Toriyama himself, there's a good possibility that Zenkai Boosts weren't even considered, in that special. So let's assume that Bardock's power level, which at the time was 10,000, didn't get increased, and Naoto did not know about that, or for some reason forgot about it, or whatever. Let's just say the power level was 10,000. Could he still have defeated Chilled? And honestly, I think yes, because we do know that when a person, or a Saiyan, excuse me, not a person, when a Saiyan goes Super Saiyan, they boost their power, their base power, by 50 times. So in that case, if Bardock was a warrior with a power level of 10,000, his power level at Super Saiyan would be 500,000. Which isn't that massive compared to the warriors, like compared to Frieza, for example. But if you're looking back at that age, which is like a long time ago, this is like way before Frieza exists or any of that stuff. That's a long time ago. If we look at that age, a power level of 500,000 is pretty massive, and it's pretty. That'll probably easily put you in the top 100 at least in the universe at the time. So if Bardock did indeed have a power level of 500,000, he could still theoretically be able to beat Chilled. And again, I'll break down how strong I think Lord Chilled is in a couple minutes. So that's one factor. Now, the other option is let's say Zenkai Boost was considered actually in this, and because he did get beat down, he technically died. He got beat up a lot actually in that process, and also got healed. Let's say his power level did increase with Zenkai Boost. I don't see his power level getting any bigger than, let's say, maybe 1 to 2 million as a Super Saiyan. So even then, that's still a lot stronger than Lord Chilled was, and I'll tell you exactly why he got defeated ultimately when it came down to fighting. So that's my theories there as far as Bardock. His power level minimum 500,000 max somewhere around 1 to 2 million as a Super Saiyan. And if we're to look at base numbers, I'm talking about maybe 10,000 to 40,000 or so, somewhere around there as far as in his base form. So that's that. Now again, if you want to see Dragon Ball Nation's breakdown on how strong he thinks Bardock is, check the link in the description below. If there's no link yet, then wait a couple hours for it to be uploaded to his channel, and then go over there and check that out as well. But as soon as Dragon Ball Nation's video is live, I will link it in my video as well. So check out both. So that's what I think about Bardock. Now, as far as Lord Chilled, let's look at Lord Chilled. So we know one thing for sure, and that's the fact that Lord Chilled was easily one of the top tier strongest warriors in the universe at that time. Now, before I continue, something I want to toss out there is, even though Lord Chilled technically wasn't that strong when you compare him to like the Z Warriors and stuff like that, something you have to think about is the fact that, it doesn't take that much power to be that powerful in the Dragon Ball universe, which sounds kind of ridiculous to say. Let's look at all the Frieza soldiers that were basically enslaved or forced to work for Frieza's family. Most of their power levels are roughly around, I'd say, 2,000 or so. Obviously, you have like the stronger ones like Todori and Zarbon, who are more like in the 10s and 20s. But ultimately, when it comes down to it, not that many people are that powerful in the Dragon Ball universe, aside from obviously Beerus, Majin Buu, people who are dead because they tend to train for the rest of their existence, and of course the Z Warriors who show up much, much later. But ultimately, at that time when Lord Chilled existed, technically he was easily in the top 100, let's say, only because I don't know who else existed in the universe at the time that could probably match his power. But obviously he had to exist since he was still alive, so he had to be somewhat powerful. And with that said, that's what makes him a top tier warrior at the time. Now the question exactly is, how strong does top tier warrior in the age of whenever he existed actually, how strong is that? Now, to address the actual, I guess the secret to the Frieza family is the transformations. I don't think Lord Chilled had a transformation past the first form. Not the first form like the small one that we see him in, but I think if he wanted to, if he really tried, he could have transformed into the second form, which is the tall one that we see in King Cold, as well as Frieza's first form when we see it on Planet Namek. And the reason why I think he had that first form is because I feel like when it comes down to it, the first form is so easy to achieve no matter what race you are. Like, achieving Super Saiyan, even though it's really difficult, achieving Super Saiyan is a lot easier than it is to achieve the next transformations down the line. Obviously, you need like a lot more time to get, you know, stronger and stronger. And the time since Lord Chill was so powerful, he probably didn't see necessary to even achieve a form past that. That's if he had it. This is my complete guess. I don't know. There's no evidence or anything backing it up the fact that he had a transformation at all. Because it's like, well, why didn't he transform? Now, the reason why he probably didn't transform is the fact that he was cocky, just like you know, a big trait that exists in the Frieza family. Obviously, he assumed he was a lot stronger. I assume since he's you know, part of Frieza's family, he can't really sense power. And since he was always so powerful, he didn't really come across anybody that was his equal. So naturally, when he actually got into fight, and Bardock, probably knowing what Frieza's savagery was like, did not give him a chance to such a transform. Because if you think about it, Bardock transformed to Super Saiyan and basically one-shot Lord Chilled, thus didn't really even give him a chance to transform. And the question is even if he did transform, would Bardock give him a chance? And honestly, I don't think so, because he knows how ruthless and savage Frieza is. He basically exerted a lot of hate for Frieza in that fight, and thus killed Lord Chilled instantly as soon as he could. So if we were to look at the first theory that I mentioned, let's say Zenkai boosts were not incorporated in Bardock's power. At the power level of 10,000 with a boost of Super Saiyan, taken to the level of 500,000, it would still make sense that he killed Lord Chill, just because there's no way that Lord Chill's power in his base form was around 530,000. Remember, at this case, Bardock is 500k. Lord Chill probably could have been chilling around, you know, a couple 100,000 if anything, which still is pretty powerful for the universe at that time. But even if he did have a second form, his transformation would probably take him somewhere around a power level of maybe a little south of 1 million, if not somewhere around 1 million. Even though I doubt that, just because when Frieza transformed, his power level was 1 million. So if we were to say if Lord Chill did have a second transformation, or second form, his power level will be hovering somewhere around 900k to maybe 1 million, somewhere around there. But even then, you know, if we're to incorporate the second theory of Bardock's Zenkai boost, he would still technically be a lot stronger than Lord Chilled and still be able to win that fight. So, because remember, if we were to say that Bardock got boosted a couple times, even if his power level was maybe 20,000 in his base form, at Super Saiyan he would be 1 million and still easily a lot stronger than Lord Chill was at the time. So no matter what the scenario actually here is, whether or not Lord Chill had a second form or not, end of the day, Bardock still wins every single time, just because his power as a Super Saiyan, the 50x boost, is so powerful, almost easy enough to end him without a problem. Now, something I want to also toss out there going back to is the fact that if Bardock did go Super Saiyan against Frieza, he was still easily lost, just because we know that Frieza's power was massive. I mean, maybe Frieza would have to transform into his maybe second or third form to fight Super Saiyan Bardock, but ultimately, if that fight ever went down, it would be pretty much a one-sided battle with Frieza taking the victory, just like how he did in the original fight when he blew up Planet Vegeta. So yeah. But if we were to go back to Lord Chilled, I'd say his power level easily would have to hover around, in its base form, maybe 300, 400,000, but nothing greater than 500,000, just because it wouldn't make sense. Because remember, Frieza was the strongest in his family. He was born that way, and it makes sense that, you know, as the Frieza family reproduces, which we don't know how they reproduce, but as they reproduce, obviously their offspring become a lot stronger and stronger and stronger, and that's basically how it ultimately led to the birth of King Cold and Frieza down the line. Again, but we don't know how exactly they reproduce, or if they even were related in that matter, but that's just something I want to kind of toss it out there just to, you know, bring it up, because I know someone's going to ask about it in the comments below. But yeah, so ultimately Bardock's power level was roughly around maybe 1 million or so, 2 million in its Super Saiyan form. if we were to look at, the base form of 10,000, his power level as Super Saiyan was around 500k, which is still strong in the Lord Chilled. As far as Lord Chilled, we're looking at a power level of roughly around 300,000, 400,000. Nothing more than 500 because it wouldn't make sense. And if he did have Super Saiyan, second form, not Super Saiyan, if he did have a second form, his power level would roughly hover around 750k to 900k, maybe a million. So yeah. So what do you guys think about that? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. If you have a better theory as to how strong Bardock and Lord Chilled are, just drop a comment below and let's see what the community thinks. But overall, if you have not seen an episode of Bardock, I highly recommend it. It's 20 minutes long. There's actually a pretty good fan English dub as well, which I recommend because they did a pretty good job. So check that out and let me know your thoughts on that as well. But other than that, I hope you guys enjoy this quick breakdown on Lord Chilled as well as a little bit of information about Bardock. Again, check out Dragon Ball Nation's video in the description below, and I guess we'll take them from there. So yeah. Anyways, as always, you guys enjoy the rest of your day. My name is Rhymestyle, and I will see all you awesome Super Saiyan in the comment section below. Peace.